All right, so hello everyone. So good to see you all tonight. I'm so looking forward to this event tonight. And yeah, this event is about love and relationships, and it is really part of my mission. I would love to introduce myself first quickly. I'm MEIKE GEHRING. I'm a presenter and journalist, and my mission is to help women to own their divine feminine power again. And I'm doing this by creating events and shows and content like this one. And this evening is all about, as I said, love and relationships. And I bring coaches and experts to you, to the audience. And what my intention and Carly's and my intention is tonight is to help you understand why you are attracting certain people into your life, especially in your love life. And this is a sacred space and nothing is right or wrong. Everything is perfect as it is. And yeah, so now I'm very excited. I would like to say hi to Carly Kershaw. Hello, Carly. So good to have you.
Hello, Micah. Hello, everyone. So happy to be here with you all.
Carly, you are working as a relationship and inner work coach, and you are doing this work for over than 20 years. I have to say, Carly's working with singles and couples, with men and women, helping people to have a fulfilled, joyful, conscious, and healthy love life. And she's also helping women to own their confidence and their truth as well. And we had great work together as well. So Carly, can you tell me, you're doing this work for since 20 years with such a passion. Why are you so passionate about your mission and your work?
Well, thank you. Thank you. Beautifully said. I'm so passionate about, this has been a 20-year journey, and it started teaching yoga, and really yoga is about stripping away identities and things that do not serve you, getting to your truer, higher self and living into that. So it started 20 years ago with my own journey of my thing is I come from a very family that was broken up many times, many marriages, many uncertainties. I had 5 siblings, and there was a lot of uncertainty in my life. So I've been stripping away identities and beliefs and doing a lot of trauma work for 20 years, and yet the work never ends. And so it started with yoga, and then I moved into holistic nutrition and really listening to the body and teaching people around that. And yet in my coaching and even in the yoga, I noticed there was a common theme, and it was relationships, because relationships are the fabric of our life. Everything is a relationship in life, everything. And family, work, everything. And yet the relationship of love, that intimate relationship that everyone wants, was my biggest struggle in life. I had a child at 17 and went from relationship to relationship, trying to find that love or that partner when I didn't even know myself. And I was carrying a lot of pain from my past, from my conditioning, my parents, and the way that they married and divorced each other and had other partners. And so I did the same. I fell into that. I said I would never do it. And yet I did. I fell into the same patterns because that's what I learned. And we normalize what we learn as children. And so here I was, a young single mom trying to find love, going from relationship to relationship. And when I started teaching yoga and then went into the health coaching, like I said, and everyone, I saw myself in everyone. They too struggled in relationship, in the family dynamic and in love. And I kept seeing this theme over and over again. And every client, every student was a mirror for me. And so I realized that relationships, again, they're the fabric of our lives. And I thought I had done so much work, Micah, and yet it was 10 years ago, I fell madly in love, I thought, with a man that I thought was my forever, my soulmate. And yet it was a very unhealthy relationship. And I didn't even understand myself in this space, because for the first time I put both feet in, and it was unhealthy. It was toxic, and he was not good to me. And I'd never experienced that before. But what I realized is he was mirroring completely the relationship that I had with my father and the uncertainty that I had in my childhood. And so it was part life. I believe life divinely guides us. And this man needed to come into my life as painful as it was, because I had to really look at myself. I had to look at my relational patterns. So I'm grateful he came into my life. And I really, it cracked me open to all of my wounds. It cracked me open to parts of myself that I was pushing down and not wanting to face. So like I said, I'm so grateful for it. And it's made me so passionate about really stepping into this deep inner work, healing the child within us all. I always say we are children in adult bodies, just walking around trying to find our way. And so that is where I really got into the deep inner work, the trauma work, and into the relationship work, because we all want healthy, loving relationships. That is what brings quality and fulfillment to our life. And now I'm happy to say that I've done this work for so long that I'm in an amazing, amazing, thriving, loving, conscious partnership. And I know it's all the work that I've done. And that's why I'm so passionate, because I know that every one of us wants that conscious, loving partnership, because that's how we thrive in life.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's so powerful, like how you tell your story and that you repeated that you're so thankful for all the experiences you had with this man and these connections, right? And that is what I am today as well. So I have done work with you as well, and I had these patterns concerning my father as well. And when we start to realize why we are attracting certain people, everything makes sense, and we can decide to heal and to look at it. And so this is the word attraction. I would love to, it's a big word, and it's a word in our title. So we choose the title, How to Attract the Love You Desire, because attraction is yeah, I would ask you to explain what really is attraction, because I think I thought as well, okay, so this man is attractive, but I did not really know why he is attractive to me. So what is attraction?
It is a big word, and it's different for everyone, right? It is. And yet the truth is we are attracted to something that is familiar. And I know everyone wants, oh, the chemistry and all the fireworks and all that. And there is that too. We all have a type. And yet we are attracted to, whoever we're attracted to has qualities that existed within our parents, our mother and our father. So I will explain, and I know you can relate through our work together, but the last partner, that my father wasn't available for me. He wasn't emotionally available from about 17 on, and he kept me at arm's length because I threatened the way that he existed in life, because I would challenge things. And so same with this partner, it was the exact thing. It was very familiar. He kept himself at arm's length. He would only let me in so much. And that was familiar to me. Now, I didn't know it at the time, and that's the thing. We don't know these things. It's unconscious, right? And yet we are attracted to what is familiar, even if it's unhealthy. So we are finding qualities, the good qualities in our mom and dad and our parents, our caregivers, and the bad qualities, what is familiar, until we wake up to it and understand, because a lot of those qualities didn't serve us when we were young, and they don't serve us when we are older. So we are attracted to what is familiar.
Okay, so one cannot say that, okay, so I like, I don't know, men with brown hair, then you're just telling yourself you do, but it's unconsciously something very different, right?
Yeah, and I mean, looks are one thing, and I think there is something to it. You know, my dad had big hands, and it was a manly man. So yes, that's part of what I'm attracted to, because it's familiar, right? If you had a dad that was really funny, really, and had that funny sense of humor, then that's what you would be attracted to. You know, that's a big conversation, and yet, yes, it's what you are familiar with. It is. And even in mom, same thing. So even qualities in mom, you can find attractive within a man.
Wow, that's so interesting. And it is really the funny man. I think funny men are attractive because I laughed a lot with my father.
Me too. My dad was so silly, and I'm silly, and I love that. And yet I'm going to say this too. Sometimes, however, we go the opposite extreme if we have a really poor relationship. such as, well, I'll say this about my mother. My mother was not the most honest, authentic woman, even though she's amazing. And so for me, I really need that. I need complete honesty. That's what I have in my partner today, because I grew up with half truths, and that I just can't live that way. That's why I speak my truth, MEIKE, always, because my mother wasn't always honest with the way she presented in life. So I present fully from my truth, and that's what I have today with my partner. That is what I chose, is that I need complete honesty because I grew up in that, again, dishonest, uncertain way. So again, it's the good qualities and the bad qualities. I shouldn't say good and bad, but you know, the qualities of your parents that you search out.
That's so interesting. So we have the first question in the chat. Jennifer is asking, how does that change when we grow? So when I grow as a woman, do my inner work, how are the men I find attractive? How does it change?
Great question, Jennifer. The thing is we have to first become aware. I mean, with anything, right? We have to look at it. We have to look at our relational patterns. That is the key in all of things. Most of us have relational patterns, such as, for me, and I think you can relate, I became, because my mother needed me to be her sidekick, to be her support. I would hold her when she needed emotional support. So I learned to become the people pleaser. I learned to hold everyone else's pain. I learned to make everyone feel okay before my own needs, because that's what I learned as a little child. So when I brought this awareness to mind, and then I did the inner work and held that little inner child, and it's a part of reparenting ourselves. It's really because it's not blaming mom and dad, everyone. I want you to really understand that. It's not blaming mom and dad or making them wrong. It's understanding that they are human beings, that that's what they learned, that's their capacity. And so you learn that, and then you look how it's affecting you in your life as an adult, and it's how it's playing out in relationships. So for me, that's what I did. I lost myself in relationship. I would take care of everyone else's needs before my own. I would hold everyone else's pain up. So once I healed that, once I first understood it, and then healed that little girl that learned that that's the way that you receive love. And I don't need to do that anymore. I reparented that little girl within myself, told her what she needed to hear, how much she's loved, how worthy she is, that she doesn't need to hold anyone else's pain or dance around anyone else's needs. So I tended to myself and that inner child, and then I changed my relational patterns. And it doesn't happen like that. It takes time and patience and compassion and a lot of practice. So that's it. I attend to myself first in relationship. I ask for what I need. I know that the relationships are now, it's reciprocal. I'm not holding anyone up. My partner meets me right here. So it is the work, the practice, the patience, and really wanting more for yourself and showing up more in your truth.
Claudia writes she can relate. She was holding her partner up all the time as well, losing herself. So that is what we do. Like sometimes we are really not thinking about ourselves. Like, so we're so busy doing things for other people. And
I want to say that great awareness to see that. And again, we are all mirrors for each other. So don't judge that within yourself. What I would ask is that you look at what you learned as a child, as a little girl. How did you receive love and praise? Was it by, taking care of mom? Was it being the straight A student? Was it, were your feelings acknowledged or dismissed? Because it's really important to look at these things and to understand how, because many of us do lose ourselves in relationship. 9 out of 10 of us are codependent. And that's, it's a big thing. We lose ourselves in relationship, but we're looking for our validation outside of ourselves, within another, within work, within praise, outside of ourselves. That was me for so long, because that's what I learned as a little girl. So look at it with love and compassion, and understand again how you learn to receive love and praise. And if you are the people pleaser, if you lose yourself, then the deeper inner work is so important, and really holding that little girl within you with such love and compassion and healing that part of yourself so you can show up more powerfully in relationship and ask for what you need and not lose yourself.
Mm. And Lisa writes that she is in a relationship and she's doing her inner work, and her partner is not really into that. And now she asks, how is this going on concerning attraction? So could it be that she's not attracted to his partner anymore, like after?
I mean, that's tough, Lisa, and I know it is tough. The thing is, what I want to say is beautiful that you're doing the inner work, and let the focus be on you right now. Okay. And yet I do work with couples. I often work with the women in the relationship, and then we often bring the male or the partner in the relationship, whatever the sex is, but we bring the partner in because, yeah, you do need to be growing as individuals and then growing together for the greater good of the relationship. And yet, if you're starting your inner work, let it be the focus on you. Try not to move, because this is what happens is when we do this work, sometimes we move into the self-righteous, like I have all the answers, and then we project that onto our partner, and that never works. So the key to it is to really, you become your best person, Lisa. You are so clear about your values, healing that little girl within you, understanding how you are showing up in relationship. And then you just show up in that love that you are, in that higher consciousness with your partner, not judging him or her or making him wrong. And you ask them to meet you in this space, right? And so I teach a lot of couples to move into, it's called the conscious container. And it's such a beautiful gift to give to each other, because a relationship is the greatest masterclass of our life. We can do so much healing in it, but it does take two people. It really does. Takes two people willing to look at each other with such love and compassion, knowing that we're human and we all have a past. We all have our conditioning. We all have our insecurities. We all have our pain. And so so Lisa, when you feel ready to invite your partner into this conscious partnership, you do it from love, not judgment, not you have to do this, not ultimatum, but I invite you into this conscious partnership with me. I want us to heal together. I want us to see and hear each other and hold each other in our highest. That is what creates the most beautiful intimacy, is when two people are willing to do the work together as individuals and then together. So that's the hope for you, Lisa, and I'm holding you in that highest, and I wish the best for you in your partnership.
Beautiful. So I would love to ask you concerning this growing together in a relationship. I would love to talk about this waiting position. We have talked about it as well. So what if I am doing my inner work and my partner is not, and I have the feeling that he just needs his time? So when do I find myself again in this waiting position, hoping that he's starting to have a look inside of himself? Is there
I want to make a difference, discernment between the waiting. A lot of women wait in relationship, or wait for a man to choose her, or wait for these things. So that is a lot of the inner work and the healing and embodying your worth, because you will never be in a waiting game ever again, MEIKE, and nor will but so, and a lot of women do, and that goes again back to how we developed our sense of self when we were little girls, and our worth. And so there's that part of it. And then if you are already in relationship and the relationship is healthy to a point, so if your partner is respectful and kind and treating you the way that they should be treating you, then there we go. There's the starting point. If that isn't happening, then that's where we have to really look at why we think we deserve such love, right? Because that's the big piece. Many of us will settle into a love that's not so healthy. However, if your partner is kind, is respectful, and there is reciprocity and love, then you can do your own inner work and really healing that part within yourself, and and knowing that your partner is on their own journey. Okay, because everyone is. And so you cannot, here's the thing though, the more that we force someone, and especially you know how it is, Micah, when in family, within everything, when you're so close in relationship, if you're telling someone, you need to do this, you need to do this work in order to be with me, you need to, what happens? It shuts down. So you never, it doesn't work. So it's leading with love and saying, this is what I'm realizing about myself. And I just feel so much more open and free. And I would love to experience this with you. So again, it's language. It's more an invitation. I want to experience this consciousness with you, this love with you, this intimacy with you. What do you think about that? Rather than leading with this and telling them how they should be. And that's unfortunately what happens in most relationships. And that's where the relationship breaks down.
Yeah, that's so important, right? This unconditional, this love without expectations, that is really what we have to learn, right? Because we are not used to love like that, because we're always projecting, like there's always this we don't even realize that we are projecting again, right? It happens so quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are projecting all of our insecurities, our needs. And I want to say that this is so important. It's something that I didn't learn, until, gosh, probably 10, 12 years ago. It was thinking that my partner will make me happy. Mm-hmm. My partner, when I have the right man, then I'm going to be happy. And that's what I think most of us think. The thing is we have to be happy within self. And our partner needs to be happy with himself. So it's not our responsibility to make them happy, and it's not their responsibility to make us happy. However, together, like I said, we can really help each other heal, because in relationship, we are mirrors for each other. Absolutely. As you talk about projection, Micah, is that, I'm projecting, if I'm triggered by my partner, now I may not like his action, but it's a projection, it's an insecurity, it's something that I'm projecting onto him, rather than simply going, why is this affecting me? Why am I feeling jealous? Why am I feeling triggered in this moment? Why am I feeling threatened? So that's where I teach people to slow things down and then communicate and say, that's what I say to my partner is, what you're doing right now is making me feel this way. And the feeling is already within me. It's already there. And that's what projection is. We are projecting a feeling, an insecurity, a belief at a subconscious level, unconscious level, and our partner is simply mirroring that to us. And if we can understand that, we would stop making our partner wrong and go, oh, wow, this is going on in me. And so that's what I have done with my partner. And we've created this conscious dynamic of when his behavior or this, I just say, okay, I'm feeling this. And he'll say, okay, what do you need from me right now? What's coming up? So I'm not making him wrong. And then getting back, reiterating that that's what we do when we aren't conscious and we're projecting. And that's why relationships fall apart, because we just end up doing this, Mm-hmm. And we don't see that it's within ourselves first. And that's why I'm being triggered. Again, our partners are mirror for us.
Yeah. So you said that's in ourselves. And when we are talking about attracting the love we desire, there are so many people searching for the right partner, like searching for the right person. But it is inside of us. So what is important to know or to embody when I want to attract the love or desire, when I'm dreaming of a healthy relationship? Mm-hmm. What can I do?
This is a big question. I love it. Thank you. First of all, I want to say that even this idea of attraction, men are attracted to our essence. Okay, there are a lot of beautiful women out there. But truly and men are very visual, so I get that. However, they're attracted to our essence, and our essence is our spirit, our soul, what lights us up, what makes us unique. Yes, what makes us come alive. So I speak from just my life to give you a reference point. Is I'm an adventurous. I love nature. I love physical activity. I love travel. I love learning. I love growing. That is my essence. And that is what made my partner so attracted to me. because we are fundamentally aligned, and he sees the depth of my soul. He sees the outer shell and he likes that, but it's the depth of my soul, what lights me up, the sparkle in my eyes. So ladies, just hear me. A man is attracted to your essence. And so that is the most beautiful part of you, and it makes you so unique. And then there are the values, your core values. And I'm so surprised at how many people don't know their values. I mean, they have an idea of them. So that's something all my clients really truly figure out, is their core values, because we want to be fundamentally aligned with our partner. And our core values are a navigational system that teach us how to show up in all aspects of life. And for me, again, it's integrity, it's growth, it's health. So that's how I live my life. And I found a partner that meets me in that space. And it's amazing to me how many times I've worked with couples and they're not fundamentally aligned. So therefore, the struggle is real. I mean, you can love each other, but love is not enough. It's really how you are fundamentally aligned. So again, that is what makes you attractive. If you have someone that loves to travel, learn, and you're on the same page, that is so attractive. So your essence, your values, and then maybe stepping into this, but how you want to feel in relationship. Most of us have an idea of a relationship. It's like this idea out there, right? We have our list. And I always say, throw away the list. Ladies, you got to get so clear about how you want to feel in relationship. And for me, that was huge when I really tapped into that. Because we have this idea of love. And love is a feeling, but most of us don't know what love is. So we go off this feeling. And often, and I might be getting off a tangent here, MEIKE, which is what I do, is this feeling of love is often underneath is a lot of our wounding. There's a lot of connection, trauma bonding, and connection through these wounds that we have. And so we think that that's love. We think that's a feeling, like it's drawing us together. But really, I want to explain that love is action. Love is respect and kindness. The people that have healthy, long-lasting relationships, and this is proven by Harvard, is kindness and love are the two top. It's not this euphoric feeling and sex and passion. However, when you have love and kindness, and you are fundamentally aligned in your core values, and you have the same vision for how you want this relationship to feel and how you want this life to be, you develop such deep, deep intimacy that therein lies the passion. And that's what a lot of relationships miss. They don't have this deep connection of truth and what they want and their values. And so it's hard to develop that intimacy that creates true passion beyond just this idea of love, this feeling of love.
Mm-hmm. And I love it. I love that because it shows again that, yes, there are two people, but the most important thing is to know yourself and your feelings, right? This is the most important feeling. And then it is a totally different kind of living, dating, communicating. It is totally different when you love yourself, love your values, and when you know yourself, right? So
yes.
It starts in yourself.
It all starts with yourself. And that's what I say. I mean, that's been my thing forever. The relationship you have with yourself is reflected in all of relationships. And because it's kind of coming full circle what we were talking about, because most of us didn't develop a strong sense of self or our worth, and then we know we were conditioned and things were modeled to us, that we are looking outside of ourselves to feel validated, to feel loved, to feel worthy. And that is when we continue to attract people that are not right for us, that are mirroring back our wounds rather than mirroring back who we are and what we want. So if we embody our essence and our worth and our values, and we love who we are with everywhere we've been, all that we've gone through, yes, then we attract the partner that is right for us. Absolutely.
Beautiful. So Laura asked something about communication. That's a topic I love a lot, because that is still something I have to learn, I would say. So communication is really another next level when you are in a conscious relationship, right? So what about communicating your values? So you have such a great story about your values. When you met your man, you like, it was the first phone call, right? When you
Yeah.
communicate.
Yes, that's such a great question, Laura. And yes, I have found, which, it doesn't surprise me anymore, but so many of us hold parts of ourselves back. We're like, oh, choose me, or, oh, I'm not going to tell him this, or I'm not going to do this. And so we don't show up authentically. And the most important thing from the beginning is showing up as who you are. First, again, you have to know yourself, what I just said a few moments ago. The thing is that from the very first conversation. So I met my guy, my fiance now, and he's an amazing man. I met him online, and I never thought I would date online, but I got over that. I wanted to be so clear about finding him. And on our very first conversation, and this is what I have all my clients do, we text, but we got on the phone that day, Meike. We were on the phone that day. We ended up talking for almost 2 hours. And I told him where I had been, that I was still hurting from my past relationship. I talked about my core values, and we talked about it right away. And I said, I want to know more about you. And he talked about the growth and the therapy and the work that he had done. And we talked about how we wanted to move forward in life, and how we wanted to feel from our very first conversation. And the thing is what I want to say to you women is that men actually find that very sexy, because he's like, oh my gosh, this is such a confident woman. She knows who she is. She knows what she wants. And he hadn't experienced that before. And he found it so sexy. And the fact that he had such similar values and upbringing and things that we wanted and we had in common, I got so excited about it. And here we are today. So
And
yeah, it's from the beginning to express who you are. However, you better know yourself first, right?
yeah, that's I love it. And I just love that I think you are such a great perfect example, like how you are embodying and enjoying having these values, because that is not familiar. Like, this is not that we have to I wish that for the world, for the society, that every woman is enjoying going out there, having the values, and loving to communicate it. So
well, the more you know yourself, the more you know your values and your essence and your worth, there is a confidence and a joy that you are experiencing now, because we've been doing this work and you're really stepping into your truth and your power. And I love seeing that in women, and that's my mission. The thing is, like I said, if we stop looking outside of ourselves and we know who we are, there is a level of confidence that I can't explain. All I can do is be an example of that. And there's a freedom to it, because you stop worrying about someone choosing you or not. You stop worrying about, being accepted or being received or not, because you're like, well, I know who I am. And if this man or this woman doesn't see that in me, then that's not my person. That's not the right fit for me. And that's okay, because I'm so embodied in my truth. And everyone's different, so you're not making them wrong. And you're also not internalizing if they choose you or not. It's freedom, right, Meike? It's freedom.
yeah, so I just can say that I would never have thought that this embodiment is more beautiful than every feeling on this planet.
Yes.
It really is. And you have to feel this connection to yourself, and then you would no one let change this feeling and this confidence. And yeah, it's just it is freedom. Yeah, it is freedom.
It is freedom and joy. Like you said, you've stepped into such a joyful spirit. It's always been there, but it is, and that's where people will say, well, where does confidence come from? And I would say, it's knowing yourself so intimately and embodying who you are. That's where confidence comes from. It is not this external shell, ladies. It's really not. It comes from here. And that I know to be true 100%.
Yeah, beautiful. So I have another question in mind concerning loving each other, having a deep connection. Because you once posted in your story, I remember, your partner is not your everything. And I have a story with my first boyfriend as well, when he was my world, he was my everything, and then he broke up. And so this is why I am interested in the level of how much can your partner be your everything? I don't know how to really ask this question, but you know what I mean, like what is healthy and what is not.
No, I get that. It's a great question. I mean, I say that Michael is my everything just because I adore and love him, and yet he isn't. No one can be your everything. That is literally handing over your heart and everything and life, saying, and if this person, because people change and there is heartbreak. People come into your life and they go. You cannot give over. You have to know that you first are your everything. And then someone can be a beautiful support, a beautiful reflection, a beautiful partner. And so within that, yes, he's the love of my life. And yet I live my purpose. This is my work and my mission. I do it every day, and I have something that is my own. And he supports me in that wholeheartedly. I have friends. I do other things with him. You know, I have other activities. So your partner cannot be everything to you. If you put it all there, it is because you don't have a strong sense of self, and you don't have other things in your life that are fulfilling. And that is what creates, again, the most beautiful relationship, is when you have two individuals that have their own life, they feel their own worth and their own wholeness, and they're doing things that fulfill them, that feel purposeful, and then you come together in union. That is so powerful, because then, like I said, I've never had a true partner in my life. And Michael is such a partner that he's allowed me to grow immensely in my business and my mission, with my children, in so many ways. So a partner should enhance your life, but it is not your whole life.
Mm-hmm. Laura says she can relate, and she did it as well. Like, she was in a relationship where his partner was her everything. So maybe the last question for tonight, Lisa is asking, what about the first 3 months of a relationship? That's interesting. So how does it all change when the first 3 months are over? Like, what about growing together when this normal everyday life is coming into your relationship?
Well, that is good, because most relationships end around the 3-month point, right? It's common. And that is because you haven't had honest, authentic conversation from the beginning. You got caught up in the feeling and an idea of love and the idea of a person. So what I suggest, that again, from the beginning, you know who you are, and you have these conversations. You talk about your values. You see if you're fundamentally aligned, because then you're growing even through the 3-month period, and you're not just caught up in the euphoric idea of love. And then by the 3-month point, you can really see, okay, we vibe. I can see a future with this person. It doesn't mean, so here's the difference. They call it, you know, the honeymoon phase, right? 3 months, 6 months, whatever. The thing is, if you create this conscious partnership and you are talking about values and life and how, I mean, I'm amazed, I'm interrupting my own thought process. I'm amazed that women don't even ask if men want a relationship, if they want children, you know, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Because if you're dating someone for 3 months, 4 months, and then all of a sudden they say, I don't want children, I never wanted a relationship, and you already have heart energy, probably you've shared your body with this person, and then all of a sudden, wait, he's not even aligned to what I want. And then you're already stuck in it. So maybe you'll stay longer and you'll accept less, right? And just deal with it. Or you'll hope he'll change, and it will add to more heartbreak. So that's why I'm getting back to, okay, be conscious, be intentional, be purposeful from the beginning of the dating process and meeting someone. Make sure that you are fundamentally aligned before you have sex, before you think about a future, all the things. And then it will actually grow into deeper intimacy as you go. It won't be just this hot and heavy, hit hard, then over really fast, because you'll see that you're growing and that you are fundamentally aligned. And so both of you will be on the same mission to move the relationship forward. And as you move forward in that same, intentional way, again, you will build the trust and the intimacy to create a healthy relationship. My relationship just gets better and better and better because we are so intimate and so real with each other. We've been together, for 4.5 years, and we are more in love and more in love and more in love because this is the way we've started this relationship. So I share that because I want every woman to see the possibility of that great love, because I'm a romantic at heart. Absolutely. I wanted that love and I gave up on it until I did the inner work and got so intentional and clear about who I am. And now I found it.
Awesome. That's a beautiful last sentence, I think. So it's such, you're doing such an amazing work, Carly. And I really thank you for sharing all your knowledge today. And thank you, ladies, for showing up tonight, being with us. And I think we all have this so beautiful and powerful, knowing now that we can have a beautiful relationship and we can, first of all, know ourselves and enjoy ourselves. And then everything is, it's easier, it's beautiful, it's knowing yourself and then beginning to attract the love you desire. So do you want to add something, Carly, concerning tonight?
Yeah, adding on to that, absolutely. Again, the relationship you have with yourself is reflected in all of relationships. So if you want a loving, healthy, intimate, passionate relationship, you have to develop that with yourself first. You have to be intimate with yourself and know who you are and love who you are. And that is how we attract. Again, our relationship mirrors how we feel about ourselves. So really take the time to do the work to fall in love with you first, and then it will open up and you will draw in and attract the love you desire.
Awesome. So, and we will, the women can go to you as well. You can contact Carly on Instagram, and we will meet each other in 2 weeks again and have this event again. I'm very excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.